welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hey, what's up? My name is Tanya, and thank you all so much for joining in and watching this video. Yes, my makeup is far from complete, but I am just calling it and throwing in the towel on this palette. You guys, it is awful. If I can give you one huge recommendation, it is to not buy this palette. I cannot believe how atrociously it is performing. It has taken me so long to build these shadows up, and it's muddying. I have used glitter glue. I have layered different crystal shades on top of one another to try to make it pop more. I'll leave my swatches and the rest of it in a minute. You will see just how bad the swatches are. I mean, look at how patchy those are. So I still wanted to put some to the test and see if maybe the swatches were just bad, because I've had that before where I've swatched an eyeshadow and it swatched just terribly. It was dry, it was chunky, it was waxy. Like, I can't even explain some of the textures that I've swatched, but somehow it performed really well with the brush and it was awesome. So, you know, sometimes that happens. It's happened to me with ColourPop, and with these ones, unfortunately, the swatches performed true from swatch to the brush onto the eyes, and you'll see how it just like grabs on so much darker here, and as you're blending, it kind of patches up and fades out weirdly. There are not nearly enough transition shades. There are like this light brown and then a dark brown. So if you wanted to go into the crease, you'd have to go into the crease with a black, because they're just, it looks on its face like this is like a complete all-encompassing palette. This would be a travel-friendly palette you could bring with you, one and done, you're good to go. And it is not. Every transition shade is awful. Literally every single one that I swatched is patchy. There's not that much pigment to it. The pigment is really intense at the beginning of the swatch, very intense at the beginning when you put your brush down, and then blending it is not fun, and it just blends weird. And when you're swatching it, it's just as the finger goes down, it fades into nothing. The metallics in here are beautiful. Every metallic swatched amazing. They were pigmented. Those were buttery. Those packed a punch. The crystal shades are also beautiful, with the exception of Ashes. That sparkly shade, when you see the swatch, it has nothing in it. It's just a couple bits of sparkle left on the arm. I don't know what the heck is happening with this palette. I really don't. And trying to look at it the way she suggests, like looking at it with one side to make sense and then the other side, even that doesn't really work. It just, you need to bring in so many other palettes for transition shades for this to work. And at this price point, it's just not worth it. I mean, you need to have everything in one place and you're paying that much money, and I feel like everything went into the beautiful packaging, and this is beautiful. This is definitely an art piece. If you're a die-hard Kat Von D collector, you're gonna want this in your collection because it is limited edition. It's supposed to be very limited edition. I've never seen that written before on any website, but this one was actually written as a very limited edition. So you will want to get your hands on it if you guys care that much about it. I'm not keeping this. It's not worth it. I can't remember. I thought it was $68. Laura thinks it's $62, but it's in the $60 price realm anyway. I did mean to look that up before coming on here. I'll put some little bubbles when I'm editing the video to let you know for sure what the price point is. But it's just, it's frustrating and it's really disheartening to work with, because you get this, you're so excited, you're looking at it on its face, it looks so beautiful, so many shades are speaking to you, and then you start working with it and it's just terrible. And I really, really hate to say that. You guys know how much I hate giving a bad review, but I didn't even want to continue on with lining, lashes, doing my face, because that would really tie the look together way more nicely than what it's looking like now. And I want you guys to truly see what an eye look would look like using the transition shades that are in here, using a metallic and using some of the crystal shades. and it's not cute. So if you still want to see what I did to achieve this look so you can see it in action, and if you want to see the swatches, then just keep on watching. And I'm so sorry that I'm so bummed out. I just really hate doing these kind of videos, but it is what it is. So I hope that I was able to save you guys some money, and I think you're really going to be blown away when you see the swatches and you see everything in action. So I'll see you guys in a second. So here's the new Kat Von D Saint and Simmer eyeshadow palette. Look at this baby. Now I have Laura and Dina here with me. So this is not first impressions for opening this up, but look at this. You guys, this is so heavy duty. It is freaking amazing. This packaging is so gorgeous. You have no idea. If you guys have not gotten into a Sephora yet, you really need to see it. This is such an art piece. It's not even funny. And when we opened this yesterday, we died. So this is the center side. Look at that pink up there. Oh my gosh. We haven't done any swatching though, so we just like oohed and awed at the packaging and looking at the colors. And then the Saint side. And remember, this was done after Cathedral glass for her inspiration in the packaging, the shades. Like, look at how many colors are screaming out at everybody right now. Because I know there's at least 10 that are calling my name. But honestly, this packaging is so innovative, and this is, I was really worried because Sephora had just thrown it right into a box, no bubble wrap, nothing. I'm like, if this baby arrives broken, shattered, anything, like I was gonna cry. But Kat Von D did such an amazing job with the packaging that even though Sephora didn't, this packaging is like rock hard, so you can travel with this and you would have nothing to be worried about. You just have really little mirrors to work with. Like, you can really see just your eyes. You know, it's not a full size. So just keep that in mind, that if you're hoping that this is like an all-encompassing one, it probably is. We haven't swatched it yet as far as eyeshadows go, but you would need to bring a little mirror for yourself because that isn't going to be user-friendly at all for your faces. But we are dying to get into swatching this. I'm gonna see if there's anything on the back. I don't think there is to really read. It just says that it's 24 new shades, so that is amazing that they're all brand new shades. And that is it. As always, Kat Von D is a cruelty-free and vegan brand. I'm not sure if every single, I know, boys, of every single shadow in here is vegan. I think Kat Von D keeps it all vegan though. But it is 24 new shades altogether. This is limited edition. Once it sells out, it is going to be gone. And this retails for $68. And I mean, the packaging alone, you can tell it's really, really worth it. You have the names on the back, you have the names on the throwaway, and you also have the names underneath the shadows. So we're gonna get to swatching, and I will be right back. As usual, I swatched row by row by row, but I kept it to the Saint side and then the center side, so one forearm and the other forearm. Unfortunately, you guys, this formula is extremely inconsistent and I am really disappointed. The Saint side, every single swatch is beautiful, but the center side is all over the place. So just wait until you see the swatches. All right, the first shade on the Saint side is Absolution, and then we have Worship and Immaculate. Then the third row is Chalice, Sacred Heart, Amen. Next row is Sanctuary, Heaven. Look at that, isn't that just so stunning? And then Crucifix. And the last row, oh my gosh, Cathedral and Rosary, those two, and then Baptism. So there's a really great range of transition shades, a really beautiful topper, some metallics. These three are just like screaming my name. I can't even begin to tell you. These are just drop dead gorgeous. And then the other side, there are a few drop dead gorgeous as well. All right, right away, Rapture is like breathtaking. Is that not just so beautiful? Unfortunately, her Sabbath, this black shade, is so patchy. I had to swatch this one twice to get something decent enough for you guys to be able to see it, and it's still patchy even after 2 swatches. And that's me going over the shadow like 1, 2, 3, swatch, 1, 2, 3, swatch. This one, I don't know what that's supposed to be, with the exception of a few pieces of sparkle. That's the shade Ashes. The third row, again, it's a miss. This is Martyr. It's so disappointing. There's just not much pigmentation there at all. Same with Devil. I mean, that's probably the least pigmented orange I have ever seen. I don't know what happened. And then Revelation, it started off really beautiful and then just so quickly faded. Then we have a couple of really beautiful shades again. I mean, Vestment, that's just duochrome mermaid heaven. And then same with Ministry, that is gorgeous. Exodus, I mean, that one's even a little bit patchy. It starts off, you know, nice right at the beginning of the fingertip and then fades into nothing. Same with Exorcism, that's supposed to be purple. And I went over that twice, you guys. That's 6 times into the pan with my finger, and that's all the payoff for a purple shade. Now, purples are harder to get a nice pigmentation out of, but I mean, this is Kat Von D. I don't think there's any excuse for that. Then we have this insanely beautiful gold, like hello. This one definitely has Lily's name written all over it. This is Really? I don't know. You guys know I suck with names. And then this last one is also beautiful. It's Stigmata. And I'm sure Laura is sitting here being like, I can correct every single name of those. Yep. But what matters is the eyeshadows and the quality. And guys, I'm so disappointed in this Sinner side. I mean, with the exception of this beauty, and then really, I don't know, there's like 4 shades on this one side that's blowing my mind, but the other side was beautiful. I just don't know if this is going to justify the price unless you guys are die-hard Kat Von D collectors and then you want that in your collection. But I'm going to go prep and prime my eyes, try to figure out what I want to use for looks or shadows to create a look, and then I will be right back. Alright, so taking my Carity E31, we are actually going to start on the Sinner side, which was one of the very patchy transition shades, so we can see it on its own and see what it looks like with a brush, because maybe it will perform much better with a brush and it just didn't like to swatch well. So I'm going to dip into Martyr, which is this shade right here, and just start building the crease and above. And there's a little bit of kickback, but there's really not much. And I wouldn't expect there to be since the swatches were not that pigmented. Well, aside from the fact that my eye is already running, so my tape is lifting, that did perform a little bit better than I was expecting with the brush. It did go a little bit heavier where you put the brush down, and I kept having to try to pull it with the brush to get it to blend. But it did blend out, but it's not that intense. So this is definitely a shade you'd have to keep building and building if you wanted that level of intensity, because it does kind of just wash away into nothing. I don't know if you guys can see right here, it just kind of starts fading away to skin again, where it stays more intense where you put the brush down. So it's not like a smooth consistency when you're blending it out. Taking my Moda Pro Crease brush, I'm going to dip into Crucifix. I do wish that there was another in-between transition shade, but unfortunately there is not. So this is the next one down, and my buddy Eeyore wants to get up on the chair. So we're just going to start putting this in the crease and slightly above. I'm just going to take my Carity E31 and go back into Martyr and just blend the top edges again. So I had Nikki's other Milani spray somewhere, and this room has become a major disaster. So today we need to use Fix Plus, and I can't say Milani her up, which is gonna break my heart. So taking my MAC 242, I'm gonna dip into Rosary, which is this beauty. I'm gonna pop that all over my lower lid, and then I'm gonna put Cathedral as a little topper for a halo. So let's hope that this saves the day, because Mama is not happy with the transition shades. Oh, this is really pretty though. You know, it's funny, you get so used to using the Milani spray that I actually don't even like spraying the Fix Plus. It doesn't have as nice of a nozzle for spraying precisely onto the brush. The Milani just has a better spritzer than this one does. This is great for setting the face, but I miss my Milani. Now I'm going to take some Too Faced glitter glue and just take any concealer brush that you have, and I'm going to pop a little bit of that as a halo. I don't know what to expect for glitter fallout from the topper. And I'm going to go back in with my MAC 242, just taking the other side, dipping into Cathedral. Woo! As I knock everything over again. And I can't say Milani her up. Let's see what this baby does. I'm going to grab a little bit of Absolution to see if we can make that pop a little bit better. Guys, I'm really not loving this palette. So I was so frustrated with this palette, I completely forgot to film an ending. I'm so sorry, you guys, or an outro. I hope that this was very helpful for all of you who were debating on getting this or who were unable to get it. It really is a terrible palette, and I'm so disappointed in it. And I'm so disappointed that I had to do this review, but I really hope that it helped you guys out. So I love all of you so much, and until next time, good night, good morning, wherever you are. I love you so, so much, and I will talk to you later. Kisses!